Mudavadi measured himself. Wetangula measured himself. Kalonzo was there measuring himself. Gideon Moi was there measuring themselves. And they knew they can't match William Ruto and Raila Odinga. So what they do, they decided to form coalitions. Luckily for Mudavadi and Wetangula formed a coalition with the winning team. They are today in government. Mudavadi is third in the executive. Wetangula is the leader of the legislature. Look at how much is going to their region. That's what we are asking Kalonzo, our brother, our father. Just weigh yourself, measure yourself. You can't compete Raila, you can't compete Ruto. You have to join one of the teams. You've been on Raila's team, you've lost now for 4 times. Stop it at that. Let's join Ruto, or you go it alone, where you lose. But our people, I'm urging the Kamba community, if Kalonzo decides to go it alone, let him perish alone and the community continue. Because Kalonzo has no kid going to Standard 1, Kalonzo has no kid in the secondary school, Kalonzo has no kid in the university. All his kids are grown-ups, are members of parliament. What I would urge the Kamba community is, if we follow Kalonzo alone, we may vote as a block, but he will lose. So we will end up with the position where we have been for the last 20 years. When we follow, let's say Kalonzo becomes the running mate for Raila, Raila will lose to Ruto. We will also end up in the opposition where we have been for the last 20 years. So the best way to go is what we are trying to persuade our people to do. Let's join the government. An example was set, a precedence has been set by the people of Mount Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta was the president and he invested government machinery. He invested all his energy to woo the Mount Kenya community to vote for Raila. But they all refused and voted 85% to William Ruto. And that's why they are today in government. So it's time we pulled back from Kalonzo. Let him walk alone. He wants to walk alone. Or he comes back to us. It's time the Kamba community pulled out of Kalonzo, joins William Ruto, work with Ruto. We have able leaders who Ruto is listening. If Kalonzo wants to lead us to Ruto's side, we are okay with that. He can come, do a coalition, so that our community can be in power. But as long as he insists on going it alone, as long as he insists on backing Raila Odinga, for heaven's sake, we are coming for him and he will lose it badly. Kalonzo candidature is not viable because if Kalonzo goes alone, he can't campaign in the whole country for more than a week. The guy will run broke in a week's time, and that's factual. Number two, Raila has invested all his life, all his wealth in politics. For him to hand over that to another person, it is not possible, it is not practical. You can't tell me I build my businesses and hand over my businesses when I'm retiring, I do a will to my neighbor's kids. No, I'll do the will to my kids. So there's no way Odinga Raila can build an empire, a political empire, and hand it over to Kalonzo. Nobody should wait for that. Kalonzo has to go it alone, which he can't. Raila will not back him up because Raila has invested so heavily. He still believes he has energy, which he does. So Raila will be a presidential candidate come 2027. Let's Kalonzo not be fooled by this.